Multipolarity is not a choice, but an objective reality. It is replacing the outdated neoliberal model, which was essentially built on neocolonial practices. The first signs of failure in this model were the economic crisis of recent decades. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed numerous shortcomings of the global trade and financial system and accelerated its fragmentation. The erosion of globalization structures has been exacerbated by illegal unilateral sanctions and the use of the dollar as a weapon for punishment. Trust in the American currency as a once reliable means of payment has been undermined. Another negative factor is the rapid increase in the debt burden. Today, developing countries spend more on servicing their debt than they invest in their own development. The situation is getting out of control even in developed countries. The global majority is interested in creating development mechanisms independent of the West. BRICS is the driving force behind this transformation, striving to build a more stable global economic architecture based on the principles of universality, transparency, non-discrimination, and equal access to available opportunities and tools. As already noted, the reform of the Bretton Woods institutions is of key importance. They must reflect the real balance of power in the global economy. It is unacceptable to continue using the IMF and the World Bank to maintain neocolonial practices. A similar situation is unfolding in the World Trade Organization, where for many years the work on dispute resolution has been blocked. Last year, an informal BRICS consultation mechanism on WTO issues was launched. We are counting on the prompt coordination of joint positions and the start of their practical implementation. Development financing problems are becoming increasingly acute. According to UN estimates, the shortfall amounts to $4.2 trillion per year. Lacking sufficient resources and the ability to obtain loans on acceptable terms, the countries of the Global South are forced to rely on official development assistance. However, due to the well-known double standards of the West, this assistance is increasingly being conditioned by political considerations. For example, in 2023, the International Monetary Fund approved an unprecedented loan to Ukraine of $15.5 billion, which amounts to 577% of Ukraine's country quota. This is more than a third of the fund's total annual program volume. And through the World Bank, since the beginning of 2022, it has been announced that nearly $54 billion will be allocated to Ukraine. Taken together, these amounts allocated to Ukraine are twice the annual funding provided by the Bretton Woods institutions to all African countries combined. To mobilize resources for development purposes, Russia has put forward an initiative to create a new investment platform within BRICS, involving the new development bank. The implementation of this initiative is intended to be supported by our joint efforts to transform the NDB into an innovative development institution that focuses on the needs of its shareholders and is not subject to external market influences. We highly appreciate the efforts of NDB President Dilma Rousseff in this direction.
Hello guys and welcome. You have just been listening to the undisputed #1 international diplomat, Mr. Lavrov, speaking at the BRICS summit in Brazil. You will not hear about this speech or this event on the lying mainstream media, when you really should. We won't go over the usual stats about BRICS representing half the world population, or that they surpassed the G7 in terms of economic output. What the Russian foreign minister outlined in his speech said it all. So let's just play the montage.
No long me a wait for me to and hold them money. You know how long me want elevate myself out of that struggle, yeah. Too long. Now it come, me not squander it. No, studio vibes. Now it come, me not squander it. You must see my dog. Me not struggle so long, and now I make little money. Gone a road, gone floss it out. No, me not floss it out. You my dog. Me not suffer so long, and now I make little money. Gone a road, gone gyal it out. No, me nah gyal it out. You must say my dog. You know much time me pray for them days, yeah. Me 4 pocket them full of beer paper. The pound US and couple you share. You know see to richness me move nearer. Me nah find myself with little money and squander it. You mad dog? No, sir. If I not chase, then I don't ask squash me have to anchor it. That one your name. Me nah struggle so long, and now I make little money. Gone a road, gone floss it out. No, me nah floss it out. Patex tell them. Me nah struggle so long, and now I make little money. Gone a road, gone gyal it out. No, me nah gyal it out. You mad dog? No, me can't see richness and broke again. That's why me drop every dirty friend. Me save more than how me spend. Me no know when the blessings are flow again. No, me can't give me mother everything. Sister net, you deserve everything. Hard work me use and get me thing. No squandering. You mad dog? Me not struggle so long, and now I make little money. Gone a road, gone floss it out. No, me not floss it out. You must see my dog. Me not struggle so long, and now I make little money. Gone a road, gone gyal it out. No, me not gyal it out. You mad dog. Me not work so hard for your change and then turn round dash away. Me not dash away. No, me not dash away. Me could not dash away. You must see my dog. You know how long me a pray for your change. No, everything change. Everything change. And me fi dash away. You must see my dog. Me not squander me little bit. No, sir. Me not hype out me little bit. Me a save my little bit. What you mean? Me no care how a little bit. No, sir. Boss life. Boss life. I will say boss life. Boss life. Journey. Journey. To the vibes.
In 1876, India faced one of the deadliest famines in history, and the cause, British colonial policies. Over 12 million people died, not from natural causes, but because of disastrous decisions made by the British rulers. While crops failed due to droughts, the British government focused on exporting food for profit, leaving the starving population with little to no relief. The British raised taxes on landowners, making it impossible for them to provide for their people, and instead of sending aid, the British turned a blind eye. This wasn't just a tragedy, it was a man-made disaster caused by a ruthless colonial regime. The Great Famine of 1876 to 78, when greed and indifference led to unimaginable suffering. How did this happen? And how did it change India forever? Stay tuned.
No, me nah gyal it out. You must see my dog.
The BRICS countries know what hardship is, and are determined to never return to being cowed under Western neo-colonialism. With the Europeans being obsessed by war, the BRICS group has been expanding and consolidating. With the inclusion of Thailand, Indonesia, and Vietnam, one person has seen the shifting sands. But because the trumpet is out of tune and incompetent, he has no answer to the question why everyone wants out of the rules-based order. What the trumpet fails to understand is its foolish tweets like this that make the world want to do their own thing. But at the EmpireReport we do give the trumpet some credit, as he is the only Western leader that has even mentioned the term BRICS. But on the other hand, with the G.O.A.T Mr. Lavrov making an opening speech like that, no wonder the BBC or Lying Sky News would not cover this event. Better to act like nothing is happening of importance in the world. This was Connor Macoman handling on BRICS Watch for the EmpireReport.
You must see my dog. Me nah struggle so long, and now I make little money. Gone a road, gone floss it out. No, me nah floss it out. You mad dog. Me nah suffer so long, and now I make little money. Gone a road, gone gyal it out. No, me nah gyal it out. You must say my dog. You know much time me pray for them days, yeah. Me 4 pocket them full of beer paper. The pound US and couple you share. You know see to richness me move nearer. Me nah find myself with little money and squander it. You mad dog. No, sir. If I not chase then I don't ask squash me have to anchor it. That one your name. Me nah struggle so long and now I make little money. Gone a road, gone floss it out. No, me nah floss it out. Patex tell them. Me nah struggle so long and now I make little money.